Hi, I'm Sarah Cook. Welcome back to Guided Abroad. This episode marks the close of my scouting trip, a spirit-led journey that's carried me through Morocco and then to Italy. In these weeks, I've been listening, learning, and following intuition more than plans. And now, on my final night in Italy, I'm tested again in ways that shake my trust and show me what I'll need for the bigger leap ahead. Let's dive in. The final hours in Italy are a huge test to my ability to trust in strangers. As I got off the train in Bari, I'm surprised at how urban, modern, and active this city feels in comparison to Lecce. In connection with that is a different energy. The energy here, I notice, is much more surface level. It's much more in the mind and less in the heart. As I look around, I'm seeing much more entertainment on offer, many more desires seeking to be fulfilled. This is helping me understand a little bit more about why I've been guided to Lecce. And as I sit there on the bench, I decide, I take a look at what comes next. I roll time forward and ask, where am I? And what I see is me back in Lecce at the feet of these saints, studying the frescoes and being taught by a teacher. For now, that's enough information for me. So I take that as input and get about exploring in Bari, first by checking into my old town apartment, getting some beautiful food, walking the promenades throughout the evening, looking at the beautiful ocean views. As I tour Bari, I also get to see remains of St. Nicholas. Yes, the origin of Santa Claus. While I'm doing this, though, tension is building. I need to leave at like 3 a.m. to the airport, but my transportation option has fallen through. I've reached out to the host of my apartment and I've asked them for help. But it turns out that my host also doesn't have any solution. So she's reaching out to a friend. Now I feel like I'm trusting the entire Bari community to rally together and figure out how I can get to the airport. My apartment host doesn't speak any English, and the communications just aren't very clear. When the confirmations don't come through as expected, I find that I'm having to set myself down and really make choices to trust, to let this community rise up and carry me. I have been conditioned through a lifetime of taking control, that is what's been successful, that I survive, I succeed when I take control. And so choosing this time to say, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to allow this community to get me there was a huge step forward for me. Now, I did have a very unreliable backup plan, just in case. I have a Hail Mary in my pocket, just in case they fall through. But I was counting on them, and it made me crazy. I couldn't sleep a wink. At midnight to 3 a.m., I am pacing the apartment. I am just so anxious. My heart's pounding. My stomach is flip-flopping. I just had all the physical symptoms of the extreme anxiety. And guess what? The car came. I felt this huge rush of relief and joyfulness and kind of ecstatic celebration that this worked out. As I rode to the airport in the car, very comfortable and quiet car, I made a vow to myself that upon returning, I would allow at least a week to experience re-entry, to be present without moving into action. The next day, back at home in the U.S., Grandmother Ayahuasca, the great plant medicine spirit, joined me in a meeting with my guides and spoke about this final night in Italy. In this clip, you'll hear me asking Grandma Aya questions and then speaking her answers as they are delivered to me. Take a listen.
Grandmother Ayahuasca, you had come forward and said you wanted to speak. Is there something you still would like to say? I feel myself being enveloped in green foliage. The sun being clouded out. It's like being wrapped in a blanket of green. Continue to listen for the sounds that guide you, the wisdom on the wind, the symbols that are buried in daily life just in front of you. These simple things are the biggest things to support you on your mission. Grandmother, what is my mission? Do you have line of sight to that? Your mission is to allow your full, true self to blossom and to connect with others in trusting relationship. Allow yourself to be in full truth, and then for that person in full truth to be held and cared for by others. Allowing the landlord in Bari to organize your transportation. Although she didn't do it the way you would have liked it, she didn't ensure that you had the touch points that you wanted, you still let go and allowed her to hold you and to get you where you needed to go. You released your control. This was a first step. And your mission is to do many more steps like this one. Allow yourself to be held by the universe, to be carried by the universe, to be nurtured by the universe. As you've been told before, you are not creating this. You are experiencing it. Experience it with freedom, joy, and love for yourself and for all things. As my plane lifted out of Bari that morning, I thought I was headed into this period of reflection and integration. What I couldn't see yet is that the pause I had promised to take would be nearly impossible to keep. That the energy driving me forward is too strong. This is the moment when the next phase of Guided Abroad begins. The scouting trip is complete, but the real journey is just beginning. You've been listening to Guided Abroad with me, Sarah Cook. Where in your life do you need to pause to notice your quality of being instead of just your busyness? How might this small shift transform the way you show up? If you try it, let me know how it goes in the comments or by emailing podcast@sarahcook.com. I love hearing from you. Until next time, keep going within to lead beyond.